Good evening, paisanos, and welcome all of you back to the super rage show. Redundant, and redundant. That is because, ladies and gentlemen, you may remember a few weeks ago, well, again, I don't know why I keep saying this. You guys aren't going to be seeing this for at least another 22 weeks. Anyway, well, the point is that a few weeks ago, I checked out a video on Sunny V2's channel called The Deserved Downfall of Lispy Jimmy, Fortnite Clickbait Scumbag. And I love the production of the video. I love how they're exposing, basically. Sunny V2 is basically content cop, except there's absolutely, no fallout whatsoever. And although... well, with that being said, I've never actually seen Content Cop, but I do know what it's about. But with that being said, there's this guy, apparently we're going to take a look at today, called Ali A, has fallen toward irrelevancy. Now, if it's anything like Lispy Jimmy, because I heard, I recognise the Ali A, logo here and there. However, again, I know absolutely nothing about Ali A, and if this is anything to prove by... I'll tell you what, let's do this in a slightly different way. What technically what do we define as being irrelevant? Well, as far as I can work out, being irrelevant means that you're saying something that people have moved past on, something that nobody really pays much attention to anymore. Well, then again, there's a difference between something that isn't being talked about, that isn't popular anymore, and stuff that's just kind of, well, we should have moved on from this, so you're basically, flogging a dead horse. That's basically the way I can describe irrelevancy, like flogging a dead horse. Now, with that being said, I'll probably get into a discussion later about how hard I'm going to try to fight against irrelevancy. If for no other reason, then, well, it's probably, I think it's just got to do with my story as to who I am and where I've come from. Because everybody has a story. Everybody has humble beginnings. But let's just see, for the sake of argument, let's just, again, a compare and contrast sort of thing. So, if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, links will all be in the description down below. So let's begin. Ali A has fallen toward irrelevancy. In 3, 2, 1, and... I'm actually going to turn this up. It's a little bit low. Just a little bit more. Who misses when Ali A used to play actual game instead of just showing characters dancing and emoting for 10 minutes? Oh, that's... I think that just about says it all, but let's go anyway. Wow. Let me just, I'll go over this point at the beginning, is that 15 million views is, well, compared to how this channel performs, that is like, how hard it took for me the first time round to get to 1 million views on my first channel? It took me nearly 14 months to do it. It was a very, very long struggle, and I will admit there were certain things that I know I could have done a lot sooner to have step things up a bit, but whatever. You can't change the past, so it is what it is. It's just, I think it's kind of funny is that when they talk about numbers this big and they say, well, if it's only just kind of, that's just only an okay sort of thing. Okay. Um, Describe to me exactly what counts as not very good views, because let me elaborate a little bit on Sunny V2. Even though I didn't ask him to anyway, um, it's to add variety. It's so that there's something different to do. Like if you're just doing like videos just for the view count, then that's that's kind of okay to do, but the problem is that people will catch on very quickly. It's just about you're playing what's popular at the time. This is why I don't really. I've mentioned this in a longer video before that I don't really like the idea of doing things that are like trending or things that are like modern. I like doing the things that nobody wants or is talking about because, well, why aren't they talking about it? What is it about it that nobody is picking up on? And the beauty behind that is that, like in all likelihood, my influences are going to make any difference. But it's good that they're getting at least some recognition. They at least know that there's an audience out there, ones who have these tremendous things to say about them. And that's sort of why, maybe, you know what, if I really had invested a lot more money into my PC and streaming and whatnot, I think I could have actually just done gameplay videos. But to be honest, that's not really my style. There are certain things that you know what I'm saying. It's a sort of style choice for me, and I suppose it depends. Comes down to what exactly Ali was sort of like doing in his videos anyway. But we might find that out shortly anyway. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, you are literally never ever going to see me do that sort of thing. Or, if I do put that sort of thing in my title, I at least deliver on what I'm actually going to say. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, fake. Well, it's kind of yes and no. I will admit that sometimes, if you put in the no, the yes, it's made for kids, and if you appeal or even show off, like, extremely, like, in your face saying, "Hello, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna do another game of Fortnite today." If you're like really over the top and like unrealistic, obviously that sort of thing is going to more or less play towards your audience. But with that being said, there are people, adults who do make like original content that is perfectly viewable for children on the internet, especially on YouTube. And these aren't gaming videos, these aren't ones that lie about, what they show for their audience. Some of these are actually, things that, kids might actually want to see, that it's totally not sucking them out. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, I can't necessarily name any at the top of my head right now, but it's the fact of the matter that they must be out there. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can actually find some right now. Let's see. Original shows on YouTube. Let's try this out, because I know there's got to be stuff out there. Elsa Gates, that was 4 years ago. Sherwood, The Future Robin Hood. I'm pretty sure that is, I don't know if that's any good, but that's got to be better than nothing. Yeah, well, technically there isn't much like here either, but there's, what I'm trying to say, there's got to be, obvious exceptions, and although I must be honest, there's the things to be said about those very strange like song animated like products. They're always 3D and they pop up literally everywhere. I have no idea who even makes them. They always come under babies.tv daytime, and it's like these run for hours and hours and hours, and it's like I don't know who makes them, and I don't know who they appeal to, because they all look exactly the same. But anyway, let's get back to Ali A. Yeah, I was kind of there as well. For those who sorry, I have to take the headphones on and off again. Back when I was about 15, 16, 17, and 18, I would watch an awful lot of a YouTube channel called Lost Pause. And Noble is kind of the the super otaku who really loved anime, and he was a very fun personality on YouTube, and it was sort of it really was the sort of thing I just watched, and along with him, Aki Dearest, the anime man, Misty. But you know what the problem is? I just kind of to be honest, my interest in animation, let alone anime in general, sort of like waned when I was in university, and ironic considering I was studying animation, but I think straight up studying animation completely killed and destroyed my love for the medium. I'm not even joking. But with that being said, I don't hold any grudges against them for this. Noble, Joey, Aki, and Misty. I don't hold any grudges against them. This is just the sort of thing that happens, and it's sort of happened with some people I watch nowadays. I mean, I haven't seen an XQC stream in 12 and a half months now. Doesn't mean I don't like the guy. It's just some of the things he does are just not really. I'm not really interested right now. Like, I never liked Among Us. I'm not really a big fan of like the GTA 5 roleplay streams. I've never played Valorant, although it does kind of look pretty interesting. I've played League a few times, and Overwatch is, well, Blizzard is just something you just don't go near nowadays. Anyway, where were we? I straight up just love the fact that even with the ad blocker here, I'm still getting ads. Centurion Man Programmatic. I do not know what that is, and I don't want to buy it. That's a really nice dog, but I'm afraid I can't do that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was REA towards irrelevancy. I'm not too sure about technically what else I really have to say about this, because it's not that I don't think, like, Fortnite is as big as it used to be. Well, it isn't, sadly, it's as big as it used to be, because I feel like there's something of a bit of like a stagnant change about things. Like, people, even kids nowadays, are just kind of like looking for the next best thing to like play, because there's lots of stuff out there and there's lots of great competition. Like, there's the problem with like being so dominant is that over time that it starts to sort of like fade into everything else. But of recently, it seems as if like there's been more of a trend of things dying as opposed to things being born or being brought about. One of the things I mean by this is just take a look at the situation with Blizzard. WoW is losing players who've been playing the game for over a decade. Asmongold has made his opinions very, very clear about the state of WoW, and Blizzard's going on legal issues, lawsuits, and discrimination practices against women. Then there's the fact that Overwatch has seen a very steady decline in popularity. Even though it's still really popular to play on Twitch to a specific audience, it's sadly nowhere near as like popular nowadays compared to likes of Apex and Valorant. And I don't even play Apex or Valorant. But it's just the fact that nobody is outright going to start supporting or giving clout to a game that's spewed in legal controversies. Nobody wants to have a thing to do with that. They want to put themselves as far away as possible. That's why I even heard a news story a few days ago that Overwatch League casters aren't even allowed to say Jesse, or no, they're not allowed to say McCree on the game anymore, because it was believed it was named after somebody who used to work at Blizzard, who was also a part in sexually harassing people. It might not have been technically sexual harassing, but he was somehow involved in it, in Blizzard's controversies. Now, as far as like REA is concerned, the one thing I kind of like want to suggest to him, if he's watching this right now, almost possibly not, but let's give this a try. I think the thing you need to do, Ali, is just stand back and sort of just play a game just because that's what you want to play, not because you feel like you have to with Fortnite. Try and express some variety. Check out something new on Steam. For example, I don't know. Just find like a classic game, like I don't know, like Metroid or something like that, and just play that for your audience, because a lot of people like Metroid, and the gameplay is really, really flash and exciting, and you could probably gain a lot more from doing that. Well, probably not gain more, but you could like. It's like you spread yourself so thin, but you spread yourself on only just one one slice of bread. Why not butter up the entire loaf? So that means you could. That's what I do. Is that I don't just choose one band or really one sort of like subject area. Is that I expend myself. I dip my toes into something, and if the water is up to my temperature, I'll go straight in and frolic about and do what I have to do. Because if you don't do stuff like that, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't try new things, then you're just going to be the same old person time and time again. I mean, in the real world, ladies and gentlemen, do you think if I only had one interest and one interest only, I would make that many friends when I was in school and stuff like that? Well, it's nigh on impossible to do that sort of thing. And again, if you want to go so far as to again mention Asmongold, he has played other games in his time. He's played Final Fantasy XIV, he's played the Dark Souls games. I'm certain he's played other games besides, but the fact is that there's more than just, WoW for other reasons why people love to watch Asmund. Because Asmund is not a complete fucking... Yeah, I'm just going to, just look up a video right now as to whether or not there's been, an independent or, channel that's made, the story of Asmongold. Because I know fine well Asmongold has made certain videos about when he started playing WoW back in, 2006, I think. Real story of Asmongold, because some of these go on for a while. There's a Miskiff documentary, there's a Tom Spark, a jobless neckbeard became the king of Twitch. I mean, he's not wrong. I'll tell you what, I'll go one further. I'm going to go on to Twitch right now, and because I know after started following Asmongold, he's been basically at the very top, more than Tim, more than XQC, who I'm sorry he got banned again for the seventh time now on Twitch. Yeah, he's live right now, 63.3 thousand views. That's impressive, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe again because MMORPGs have been incredibly successful for years on platforms like Twitch, and similar goes to Soda Poppin and Forsen. They play different games, and E-Rob as well does the same thing. And even though Moxie is one of my OG guys, is that even though he mostly just plays Overwatch, there's more than just that. It's when Moxie talks to Jelly Peanut Unsalted, he tries to flirt with girls. There's a lot to Moxie that is really, really interesting, because I believe that he's not flexing on people, because if he was, he would just straight up show how much money he has or how big his IQ really is. But he's just it's that sort of demographic, and those guys, they're real people. They interact with people. And Markiplier and Jacksepticeye are the exact same example. They interact with people because, they're not complete stick in the mud, and they are not, completely unrealistically, optimistic. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with, being optimistic or being happy, but we know the intention behind it, as far as, Ali A is concerned, is exemplified by how successful his videos do, because, again, just like in the Lispy Jimmy sort of situation, people... Jimmy, probably more than anyone else, thought that type of, attitude and that behavior was absolutely fine, including doing the clickbait Fortnite titles. And as Ali A is going to continue doing it, more people are going to recognize him because his stuff is absolute BS, and they're just going to stop doing it. So all I'm going to say, Ali A, is that, that I can understand maybe your stuff. I mean, I'm going to go onto Ali A's channel right now, just to end this off. I'm a little bit curious. 5 hours ago, I spent all my parents' money on video games they found out. I'm gonna I'll tell you what, I've got a better idea. I'm gonna watch this video very quickly. I'm gonna save you guys the trouble. I'm gonna find out whether or not this actually happens or not, because I don't quite believe it. Okay, fuck that. Okay, fuck me. First of all, no, the title is a complete lie, because one, it was just a reaction video where Alistair just talked about this. It was an animation about some kid who lied about, spent... So, the title's a lie. The thumbnail technically is true, because it does depict the animation in the video that he was doing a reaction to, but the title's a lie. Ali's reaction was basically a lie, because he barely said anything. He barely had any reaction he had was almost like completely, like, it was complete face value. That's the type of shit you will never see me do on this. Nothing I do is just on face value. I peel back the surface. I dig deep into this stuff. That's what this is all about. Because people can see through your facade, Ali. People will catch on